by show of left hands, who has used video call in the last week? The last month? The last year? Practically everyone. Keep your left hand raised. Now raise your right hand if you've seen an increase in your use of video communication over the past 5 years. And raise it even higher if you think your video communication over the next 5 years will increase even more. Great. So this is the trend of video conference adoption. It's a skill that we're increasingly needing to use. It's a valuable tool. And if we conceptualize the time, attention, and focus that we all spend on communication over the next 5, 10 years, video conferencing and calls are going to become increasingly important. Unfortunately, our ability to communicate effectively on video has remained relatively static. If we think of video conferencing today like text messaging in the early 2000s, it was cool and innovative, but not everybody was using it. But if we fast forward 20 years, text messaging has fundamentally changed the way we communicate as humans in both personal and professional contexts. We think this trend is going to also happen in video. It's essential that you're able to communicate strategically and effectively through video. Also remember, video isn't just for YouTube or Snapchat nowadays. It's increasingly being used in high-stakes situations. As a job interviewer or hiring manager, you will have to screen candidates in organizations based on a 15 to 20-minute video call. As a manager of people, resources, and projects, you will have to coordinate across geographies and time zones and learn to build teams using on top of virtual platforms. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, it's a crucial skill for interpersonal communication and remaining in keeping warm relationships with those we love. So in this day and age, it's crucial that you're able to stand out on video communication. Max is going to give us an example.
Thank you, Kyle. So it's important to stand out, and we want to show you that it's actually possible to stand out. We believe that you can build connection and intimacy through video conferencing, and we would even go so far as to say that it can have almost the same impact as face-to-face meetings. So let's look at an example. Let's assume I'm a recruiter and there's a first round interview up, and this is the guy I'm going to talk to. Applicant, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I did my vocal exercises, I made power pose, I'm calm, and I wear pants. This interview can start.
I don't know about you guys, but I would not hire that guy. Good on him for wearing pants, but something seems terribly off with the video. I don't know, gestures, everything. Danny, can you help me out?
Sure, Max. So I'm going to show you a simple way that you can upgrade your personal production value for your video calls. See, we often forget, one of the most common things that we ignore in video conferencing is the awareness of our relationship with the camera. And we spoke with Karen Reed, a renowned expert on this subject, the author of the book On Camera Coach. And she commented that oftentimes we think of the lens of our front camera as a disconnected spectator rather than a representation of our conversation partner. Now, this is actually very important. Take an example. This is me in most of my video conversations. Without realizing it, my face is taking up more than half of the screen. I was trying to lean in and have an upfront conversation, but without realizing I was overdoing it. Think about it for a second. In real life, we would never do it. We would never walk up to someone and try to have a great conversation that close. Now, why are we doing it in video communications? So I have a simple trick that can help you to improve. Let me show you something. This is a laptop stand. With a mere $15, you can get it on Amazon. You'll be able to use it to lift your laptop up to your eye level. And this helps with a more natural distance. And what's more, you need to adjust the distance a little further so that your audience or your conversation partner get to see your whole body. And then leave a little bit of space on the top of your head, and that makes it more natural. And a more subtle point is, when we're communicating on video conferencing, our gestures would actually be different. Think about if you were doing this vertical hand gesture on the video conferencing. It'll come up with this gigantic hand that would be scary. So if you're communicating on video, remember, if you were to illustrate a point, think horizontally. So, Pasha, I'm going to challenge you to take it to the next level.
Yes, I have solution. It's into my magic box. What do you think I have here? No, not smash, no potatoes.
Snacks for everyone?
It's close, but yes, yes, it's light. Yes, it's portable, it's small, and I want to tell you why it's so important. You all know that our body helps us to build emotional connection. It makes us confident. We can use it to make confidence, to show our openness, to grab the attention. But there is a problem. We don't see a body during the video conference. So, how we can show all this emotion, how people can read this important information from the speaker when they don't see? Well, our face become our body. And our body gestures come from the body to our face. And our emotions during the video call, our expressions become our legs, our arms, and our torso. Yeah. That's why it's so important to people to see our face, and we don't need to hide it. Yeah? I want to show you how it works. This is normal Pasha in the standard GSB room. And look. Wow. Yeah. Do you see the difference? It's like a TV star Pasha. I want to be Pasha like this. Yeah, this is Ultra HD quality Pasha. And the difference was in the lighting. And that's all. It's really simple. With this small portable light, you can, it's like, it costs nothing, almost nothing for Danny. It's simple to use, and it works just perfect. Why? Why is the result so significant? Because mostly at the room we have light from the top. It's good for environment, but it's bad for video. It's bad for video. It's bad for our faces. That's why it's good to put the light in the level of our face. It makes us bright and it makes us beautiful. So, I'm sure all of us wants to be bright, optimistic, and highly detailed as Pasha. Kyle, what do you think?
I think you look great, Pasha, and I want to take you from TV star Pasha to superhero Pasha. The final ingredient to effective video communication is eye contact. In this class, we've learned that direct eye contact helps build trust and confidence, and it's key for communication. You would never address an audience or an individual with your gaze averted. It's just not natural. However, all too often we do this when we're on video calls and doing video communications. We have this natural bias to look at the center of the screen, but we need to remember that our audience is actually behind the lens. One key thing I use to remember to look at the camera and making natural conversational level of eye contact, Plus, the cheapest innovation you'll see today, googly eyes. Googly eyes help remember to look near the camera and also make a conversational level of eye contact. You don't want to stare at it like a creeper, but you want to engage and be friendly. And I find this trick, or just remembering this, is helpful, and pretend that you're engaging with googly eyes, and you'll have a very natural, calm, and kind of focused presence on the camera. With this in mind, remember, Max, the camera loves you.
Thanks. So, to recap, this is where we started out. Pretty bad, right? But then, if I recall correctly, Danny, you helped me to keep distance to the camera. Pasha told me about the importance of light. And finally, Kyle told me how important it is to look the camera into the eye. So let's see. Applicant, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready now. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Kyle. And thanks, Pasha. Now, I've got a really good feeling for this interview that's coming up.
So Max, how do you feel?
I feel a lot better.
Great. So in conclusion, in order to have a real connection, in order to have an authentic video communication, we would like to offer you a few tips. One is to be mindful of the distance between yourself and your front lens. Two is set up the right environment. Three is remember to add eye contact. And last but not least, relax and have a conversation. With that, we would open up for questions.